Another month in the bag, and May was an awesome month. Had a lot of cool things happen for the channel. I feel like I posted some pretty good videos in May, and I'm really looking forward to June and seeing what June has in store for us. With another month gone by, you know what that means, right? Another pickups video. Now today you're probably going to see the pickups are quite a bit smaller than the last few months, so I don't have as much to show, so it's going to be a shorter video. But I want to do something special in this video besides show you my pickups for the month of May. I want to give a very special shout out to a very awesome YouTube channel out there, and that YouTube channel is Gaming Off the Grid. And today, in honor of them reaching that almighty 1,000 subscriber count, I'm going to drink a beer in their official Gaming Off the Grid mug, and at the end of the episode, in honor of these guys, I am going to review or attempt to review this beer, because I've never attempted to review a beer before, so this could be a train wreck, but I'm gonna try anyways in honor of my dudes Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid. So be sure and hit that subscribe button so that you can join the Retro Wolf family. And let's go over my pickups for the month of May and talk about Gaming Off the Grid and this awesome beer. So what am I drinking today? I'm drinking a beer from Four Sons Brewing Company out of Huntington Beach, California, and that is the Sour K Sour Blonde Ale. I don't have a lot of experience with sours until recently, and man am I hooked. For the first pickup, we're going to talk about this awesome Gaming Off the Grid mug. So, for those of you who are not familiar, Gaming Off the Grid is an awesome up-and-coming YouTube channel. They just recently hit 1,000 subscribers, which is just amazing because that number is really hard to hit for a small YouTube channel just starting out. I'm not even close to that, but I'm working my way there. Robert and Wes from Gaming Off the Grid are a couple of the coolest, nicest, most down-to-earth, just regular guys that I've seen on YouTube. You can tell when you watch them that these guys are the real deal. They're very laid back, and on their YouTube channel they talk about retro games, they talk about new games, they talk about consoles, they do all kinds of cool stuff. They talk about wrestling, they talk about movies, they talk about music, and throughout each episode they drink a beer, and then at the end of the episode they review that beer. And let me tell you something, these guys are really good at reviewing beers. They use a lot of terminology that I had never heard of before. So actually, in watching them review beers, I'm learning a little bit about how to review a beer, sort of. I'm at least learning some of the terminology, so thank you guys for teaching me that. I highly recommend that you all go check out their channel and subscribe, because these two dudes are going somewhere. They put out quality content, very good production value, very good editing. Their on-camera chemistry together is just amazing. These two guys are just unnatural together on camera. I mean, they just bounce off of each other really well. They go together really well, and it makes for a very entertaining and fun video every single time. So go check out Gaming Off the Grid, support them, because they are just crushing it right now. Absolutely crushing it. Cheers guys, and congrats on hitting 1,000 subscribers. That's a good beer. Alright, let's start things off with a couple of eBay pickups. So as you all know, I am going for a complete Nintendo GameCube collection, and I'm very close to that. I'm 15 games away from having at least one copy of every Nintendo GameCube game. There will of course be a video on the collection in the future. Every now and then, if I find a game at a good price on eBay for the GameCube that I don't have, I'll pick it up. So in the month of May, I picked up Hunter the Reckoning. Now, for those of you who have not played this game, this is an awesome game. First of all, it has 1 to 4 player local co-op, sort of like an isometric combat game like you know, Diablo and games like that, except you're fighting, you know, you're fighting monsters like werewolves, vampires, all kinds of evil beings and beasts. The game is a lot of fun, very easy to get into. Playing with other people is a blast. I highly recommend Hunter the Reckoning. Very good game. Next up, I picked up The Sims 2 on eBay. I actually didn't have The Sims 2 on the GameCube for some reason. I'm not sure why. Now, to be honest with you, I do not have a lot of experience with The Sims. It's just not a series that I ever really got into that much. It does look interesting. And to be honest, I mean, if I like Animal Crossing a lot, so I'm sure that if I like Animal Crossing, I could probably get into The Sims too. Just haven't really done it yet. Next up are a couple of Instagram pickups. As I've told you many times in many of these pickup videos, I'm connected to a huge community of gamers, collectors, retro gamers on Instagram, and many of these gamers will actually sell games on Instagram or trade games. And oftentimes you can get really good deals from your fellow collectors through Instagram, and it's just a great way to grab a few games from time to time whenever they have claim sales. And I didn't get a whole lot this month, but I did get a couple of things. So from a user called JS_VGS, and I will leave the names of their Instagram profiles in the description down below, so be sure and check them out and follow them on Instagram. I got a couple of Sega Master System games. I love the Sega Master System. It is a very underrated and underappreciated console in the United States, and it's another console I'm trying to go for a complete collection for, and I'm about halfway there, so not doing too bad on that. We got a double cart, Hang On, Astro Warrior. So we got two games, Hang On and Astro Warrior. Hang On is a motorcycle game, a 3D motorcycle game, and Astro Warrior is sort of like an old school shoot 'em up in a way. Maybe, you know, when I say old school, like I'm talking Space Invaders old school. It's you know, it's pretty old school. But there are a couple of pretty cool games, pretty fun on the Sega Master System. And then we got Action Fighter. Now, I don't really know a lot about this game. It looks like you're riding a motorcycle. It says it's action-packed. Your motorcycle can transform into a dozen deadly vehicles. The game looks pretty cool, so I'll have to check this out pretty soon. Next up, snagged a couple of NES cartridges from a good buddy of mine, Gabe. His profile name is HG_boxing, and I'll leave that in the description down below as well. And he posted a couple of NES games that I did not have, and it ended up bringing me to 400 NES cards after I bought these, so thanks Gabe for that and hooking me up with a good price. But we have Super Team Games. Don't really know a lot about this game. It requires the power pad, which I do not have. However, my cousin has one, so maybe I'll bring this over and we'll try it out. And then we've got Lode Runner. Now, I've never played the original Lode Runner on the NES, but on the Xbox 360 arcade, I got really addicted to a Lode Runner game. So I'm familiar with the franchise. I've played some of the older ones in the past as well, and it's a pretty fun game. So I'll probably check this out pretty soon as well. Instagram is a great place to meet other gamers and other collectors and kind of get into that community and get some good deals along the way. So I highly recommend that you all do so. Let's go ahead and jump into the Nintendo Switch pickups because I got some pretty cool stuff here. So finally got my physical copy of Hollow Knight. Now, for those of you who have not played Hollow Knight, it is an incredible game, very difficult and brutal game. So be prepared for a challenge. It's sort of influenced by Dark Souls, but this game will kick your butt. But man, it's so amazing. I've only played probably 4 or 5 hours of it, so I really need to, because it's a long game, I really need to get back into it. But Hollow Knight. Then we got from Nicalis Crystal Crisis, which is a puzzle fighting game that where you play as different Nicalis characters. And Nicalis, they always do a really good job with their packaging. They include a lot of extras in all of the first prints of their game, and I really appreciate them for that. So Crystal Crisis. Then we got the second, I believe this is the second limited Switch release from Strictly Limited Games, and it is Velocity 2X. I haven't played this one yet, but it looks like an absolute blast. It looks like a game designed for speedrunners in mind, which is really cool, so I need to check that out. Then we got the first limited Switch release from Red Art Games, and that's Old Man's Journey. Don't really know a lot about this game, and I would read the back of the game to you, but it's in what looks like French, so I won't be doing that. Then from Limited Run Games, we have Luminous Remastered. Now, I'll be honest, I've never played this series before, but everybody that has talks about how absolutely incredible it is. And the music, I've heard the music is amazing, so I really need to try this out so that I can experience that for myself. Then we have Saints Row the Third, the full package. I've never played a Saints Row game until now, and I have to say, this game's a lot of fun. It's very crazy, very over-the-top, GTA-like game. Just, you can do all kinds of crazy shenanigans in this game. It's like playing a just insane, over-the-top, crazy action game that parodies a lot of other stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend that one. We have another limited run games release, Another World. This looks to be a 2D/3D adventure game, like an old school adventure game, and it looks pretty interesting. Next up, we have The Escapist Complete Edition, another limited run games release. And in this game, it's sort of like a escape from prison simulator. So you're trying to escape from prison. There's a sequel to this game as well. I haven't played any of them, but they do look really fun. I like the pixel art graphics. And the idea of playing a retro pixel art sandbox style game where you're trying to escape from prison sounds pretty cool. Last but certainly not least is Limited Run Games release of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. This game is incredible, especially if you're a fan of retro games, NES games, and the old school Castlevania series, because this is almost a spiritual successor to the old NES Castlevania games and Super Castlevania. It really scratches that itch. The graphics are amazing, the music's amazing, the gameplay is amazing. It's just such a great game. And if you're a fan of those games in that era, I highly recommend that you check this game out. And last but certainly not least, this stack of games that you see here I got from a website called eStarland.com. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with eStarland.com, I'll leave a link to their website in the description down below. They are an online game website where you can purchase games. But what's cool about them is you can trade games into them as well by shipping the games to them. Now, I will admit I did not have the greatest experience trading games to them. I'm not going to get into why in this video. I can't say that I recommend that you trade games to them. I just can't recommend it. However, they do have a large selection of games, anywhere from retro to import to new games. They have a ton of stuff, and some of their prices are very reasonable. Their shipping is reasonable. They ship pretty fast, and overall I'm impressed with that side of them, even though their website's a little buggy at times. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get into what I picked up with my trade-in credit. And I'm going to start with a new PS4 game I picked up from them, and that PS4 game is Days Gone. Alright, let me just set the record straight here, and this is just my opinion, but many of you that follow the gaming industry and gaming news probably know that Days Gone got mediocre to okay reviews from the critics. Let me tell you something, I do not agree with the critics at all. In my opinion, this is an absolutely fantastic game, and I have been totally and completely addicted to it. I've been playing it every chance that I get. So, Days Gone is an open world post-apocalyptic adventure game where you play as a biker named Deacon, and you're basically just trying to survive in this world, and at the same time trying to figure out what happened to your wife. And you take part in all sorts of different storylines in the game. The game is incredible. The gameplay is a blast. It has a really nice progression to it, and the way that you improve your character and your motorcycle along the way has a really good progression to it. You really feel like you're constantly making progress in that game as far as getting a little bit better and better with your character. The stealth elements are great. The shooting feels good. There's just a pretty large variety in the gameplay. Riding the motorcycle is a lot of fun. A lot of variety in the missions. I like the voice acting. I like the characters. I'm really digging the story so far. All in all, to me, this is a fantastic game, and it's long too. I mean, I've probably been playing it for, I don't know, maybe 20-25 hours now, and I feel like I'm just barely halfway through the game, if that. It's a long game, so you will get your money's worth out of this game. The graphics are really good. I mean, I could just go on and on about Days Gone. Don't listen to the mediocre critic reviews. Judge this game for yourself. And if you like games like this, if you like open world post-apocalyptic games, if you like zombie games and stuff like that, you're really going to like this game. So I highly recommend Days Gone. Now, the main thing that I wanted to get from eStarland with my trade-in credit, of course, GameCube games, because I'm trying to reach that complete collection status. And I got quite a few GameCube games, as you can see here from eStarland. So let's run through these real quick. Now, unfortunately, and this is another gripe I have with eStarland, some of these games I ordered thinking I was going to at least get the case because it just said no manual, and lo and behold, I did not get a case. So I got several games that were disc only. So what I did is I threw them in an original GameCube case because I have a lot of extras laying around, and I printed off a copy of the label in color to put in the case until eventually I replace it with another copy that has the original label and hopefully a manual too. So let's start with Aquaman. This is another one that was loose. I've heard this is not a very good game. Can't say I'm looking forward to playing this one, but there you go. Mega Man X Command Mission. I've never played this game. I mean, it looks pretty cool. It doesn't look like a traditional Mega Man game though, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Now this is a really good game, and that's Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. This is an isometric dungeon crawler similar to Diablo and games like that. I mean, it can be played with up to 2 people. Really good game. Bomberman Generations, pretty solid Bomberman game. Not bad at all, and I really dig the cel-shaded graphics. Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. Don't really know a lot about this one either. Then we've got One Piece Grand Adventure. I've never seen the One Piece anime, and I've never played a One Piece game. To be honest, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a free-moving 3D battle game with a single-player adventure mode, customizable character stages, and mini-games, so, it's pretty cool. Then we have WTA Tour Tennis, another one that was loose, and I have zero interest in this game whatsoever. WWE Day of Reckoning. I've actually heard that the Day of Reckoning series is pretty good, so I need to check this out. It's been a long time since I played a wrestling game. Another one that was loose, City Racer from Ubisoft. Don't really know a lot about this game either. Then we've got the Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage. This game is probably not very good, but who knows, it may surprise me. Nickelodeon Party Blast. It looks like a 1 to 4 player minigame style game. Think like Mario Party. So it's just basically a party game. Donald Duck Goin' Quackers. Looks like a 3D platformer starring Donald Duck. It's another one that I got loose. 2 Shrek games that I've never played. We got Shrek Smash and Crash Racing and Shrek Extra Large. So we've got a 3D platformer, and then we have a racing game. Then we have what is actually a really good game and a hidden gem, and it's getting pretty expensive, and that is Chibi Robo Plug Into Adventure. Now, I personally have actually never played this game, but I've always heard great things about it. It looks very unique and very original, and I can't wait to try this one out. Another game that's actually getting very expensive and hard to find on the GameCube, and that's Rally Championship. Seriously, look this game up, complete in box on eBay. But it's a racing game from a company I've never heard of, and I can't say that it looks very fun, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and I won't judge it until I play it. Then we have Harvest Moon, Another Wonderful Life, and from what I understand, this is simply Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, except you get to play as a female. I'm not sure why they had to release 2 games to do that and couldn't just give you the option to do that in the game, but I haven't researched it, so maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. And last but not least, we have Pac-Man World 3, which is a 3D platformer. I've played Pac-Man World 2 quite a bit, and it's actually a solid 3D platformer. So if this one is anything like the second one, it'll be a solid 3D platformer as well. Alright, now let's get into my attempts to review this beer. And hopefully I don't make a complete fool of myself, because I don't know how to review a beer and I've never done it before. But I'm going to review it in my own way and we'll see how it goes. Cheers. Man, that's good. So, as I've stated, I have recently gotten into sour beers, and I am just a big fan of them already. And this particular beer is absolutely fantastic. It's very fruity. It has notes of raspberry. As a matter of fact, that's really what I taste more than anything, is sort of a tart raspberry flavor, and it lingers in the mouth for a while, and yet it has a really nice aftertaste. This beer has sort of a juicy feel to it. It's very smooth. It goes down easy, and actually it's refreshing. I could see this beer being a beer that I would drink during the summer. Pull it out of the fridge, throw it in an iced glass, step outside and sip on this beer, and it would actually be pretty refreshing, and it wouldn't make me thirsty like a lot of other beers do. It's just very easy to drink, and you got to be careful because it's easy to drink and it's also pretty strong. It is 7.9% alcohol by volume, and it goes down so easy that you could put down these and next thing you know you're pretty tipsy or you have a nice buzz. So drink with care is what I'm trying to say. It's just such a great beer, and I really like that juicy feel to the beer. and the really nice fruity aftertaste. And I highly recommend this one from Four Sons Brewing Company out of Huntington Beach, California. The Sour K Sour Blonde Ale. Hopefully I didn't completely butcher that beer review, and I at least did a halfway decent job. Let me know how I did in the comments down below, and let me know if you've had this beer and what you think about it. And again, this beer review is going to be a one-time thing on the channel. I'm not in the business of beer reviews because I'm not very good at it. It's in honor of Gaming Off the Grid and them reaching this huge milestone of 1,000 subs. And dudes, I cannot wait to see where the channel goes next. You guys are absolutely killing it, and you have been a huge influence and inspiration on me and my channel, and I appreciate everything that you have done to help me out along the way. And I will leave a link to their channel in the description down below. You would be seriously missing out if you don't go check those guys out. So there you have it, folks. My pickups for the month of May, my attempt at a beer review, and my shout out to the awesome dudes at Gaming Off the Grid. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure and hit that like button. Let me know in the comments down below what you picked up in the month of May, and also let me know in the comments down below if you have anything interesting to say about any of the games that I've shown in this video. Be sure and hit that subscribe button so that you can join the Retro Wolf family and buy Days Gone. Cheers, everybody. Keep playing games and having a good time, and I will see you all in the next video.